and strategy, particularly at this time of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is having great impact on the globe and even Nigeria. We'll continue our conversation today with Mr. John Wese, MD CEO of Syntech Nigeria Limited, and also a strategy management consultant as we look at restarting your business after the lockdown. We're looking at people in their careers and their jobs. But before we move on, we'd like to give you updates on COVID-19 confirmed cases in Nigeria. At this point, we have 1,532 confirmed cases of COVID-19 with 255 recoveries and 44 deaths. I'll take that again. We have 1,532 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, 255 recoveries and 44 deaths. This update is coming from the National Center for Disease and Control. So we'll continue this conversation. Nice to have you. Good afternoon, Mr. John Wese.
Thank you. Thank you once again.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here.
Yes, a very challenging period for governance and leadership, this period where we have to look at how the lockdowns are managed and also ensure that there's a balance between health and economy. One of our guests was emphasizing the importance of balancing health and economy. So as we look at state governors now being given that opportunity to spell out the guidelines for the lockdown easing across the country, and particularly states that have low cases, let me say states like Delta, your state of origin, that have like 7 confirmed cases. That's a different ballgame from a state like the situation, and I believe Governor Ifeanyi Okowa will still review the situation and make some further statements. What would be your insight into how states with low cases, as we see in other climes, who are pushing for easing totally the lockdowns? What will be advised to such states, and also to states that have over 100 cases at this point? What do you also be saying to them?
Thank you, Otto. I think, like we've always said, each state should roll out appropriate guidelines, with respect to what their uniqueness is, okay? Now, for Delta that you've mentioned, and maybe other states like them, Delta have brought out, they want the restaurants to operate takeaway only. Nobody's sitting in. Now, even hotels that are open, it will just be in-room dining. Yeah. So the restaurants will not open, the bars will not open, their nightclubs, if they have any, will not open, the swimming pool will not open. So
in social gatherings are limited.
Are limited.
Yeah.
Now, they've also said that there will be some measure of movements of transport within the states, but they're not allowing people to come in. Neither
Across
are they allowing
the country, interstate is...
Yes, neither are they allowing people to go out, as the case may be. Okay, so for me, my position is, what they've done is okay. However, the number of tests that has taken place. So if you see some of us expressing some concern between health and the economic implication, you get my point. These are valid concerns on both sides. Like you said in your intro, this is where governance, like you said, in 2 days' time, while they've come out with guidelines of how things should operate within the state. You get my point. Yeah. Fair enough. But I think we should still show caution. I like to be on this is health. This is not a technology issue. Yeah. This is health. This has to do with something we don't even have a vaccine or anything near it. I'd rather like to be on the side of caution, okay? While these measures have been done with good faith, you get my point. I think it's okay. Can it be better? Certainly, if we have enough tests and we can now look at the data we have before us to make those calls, as the case may be. So I think Delta and maybe other states like it, it's okay. The reason why they are, they are take place. But our people that's obedient, our level of indiscipline is extremely high. That is what has led to the kind of corruption that we have in the system. So for people like me, my concern mainly is to what extent when this relaxation, this lockdown relaxation, these restrictions are relaxed, to what extent will our people comply? That's my concern, okay? That's my concern. To what extent will our people comply? So compliance is the issue for me, not really the fact that the restriction that is being relaxed, fantastic. But to what extent would we comply? So if you listen to the Lagos State Governor, too, when he was giving his speech yesterday, I think, all right, that was what he was pleading with the citizens. He said, look, we've got to comply to this instruction.
We have to.
We've just got to comply to this instruction. Yeah, like I said, maybe a day or two ago, look at the kind of precaution we take, you know, even though we are all here. Look at the kind of precautions we've been taking. How much more you now allow our people to go? So I think we have a lot to, we just need to comply. Our concern, some of us, is to what extent will our people comply? Until the Kanu case escalated, I was told by friends of mine in Kanu that the common people there do not believe that this COVID is real. So the question I was asking them was that, then what kind of campaign is the state government doing? They've even used it to ask a song over there. They were, you know, making it look as if it's not true. This is embarrassing until the case, even though they said they are not COVID-related cases, the deaths that were.
When you see the data now, it's 115 in Kano. I mean, in space.
Yes, but they are saying that they are not saying that they are COVID-related. They are not saying that they are COVID-related. The governor is saying one thing. Kwankwanso and his team, all right, are saying that no, these are COVID-related. So who do we believe? So we should not play politics with this. We shouldn't play politics with this. The economic implication is so humongous that that's what they should sit down and be thinking about than playing politics with people's lives or with the state of things. I'm not happy about that, okay? I think if I were Kwakwanso and his team, I would rather be...
Senator Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso,
yes,
former governor of Kano State.
The former governor. If I were him and his team, I would rather be rallying around to have a common voice. You know, to
have for consensus.
Because of the data that is before us. You know, everything is about data and the decision you make with it. So if you begin to make political statements or trying to skyrocket something when they are not, that will not be good. Okay, look at the issue of the Almajiris that were exported to Kaduna, and they found the number of those children. You see, you can see what, the care some of us are talking about. The care, the concern, rather, that some of us are talking about. It's not because we don't want people to get into economic activity. We do want that, but this is not the time to play politics. And if you look at the World Health Organization DG too, all right? That's what the guy is talking about.
Dr. Tedros.
Don't play politics with this issue. Do not play politics with this issue. We are confronting something that is beyond all of us. With all the expertise we have in epidemiology, we are still putting our heads to see the health aspect is there, the economic aspect is there. Funny enough, these two issues are going what? Pari passu. These two issues are going pari passu. So we need to be very careful and wish all of our people in leadership, in political leadership, all the best so that they can make the right call. Yes, so they can make the right call at this time. You know, trust me, it's not easy to be in governance now.
Yeah, it's quite challenging.
It's not easy to be in governance.
Because there are yearnings for economic activities to resume, and you're also looking at the general health and conditions of the people.
We want to go back to business. Everybody wants to go back to business. I mean, so you, for example, if I should add to it, if you look, what are organizations doing for the rollback towards Monday? Okay, I mean, we've been trying to call a number of our clients to talk to them. Every one of them, they are involved in conversations, meetings, different meetings to see how are they going to roll back. What is the modalities for us to roll back, for us to open? How are we going to operate? What are the rules? How are we going to enforce? How are we going to enforce? Then how are we going to what? Penalize for any of our team? Because it's a totally different situation. While people want to go out, you still have some trepidation to say, when I get to the office tomorrow, for example, right, people are resuming, I don't know where they are coming from. I don't know the level of hygiene. I don't know the level of hygiene. Some people are going to board buses, taxis, or whatever to come to I don't know who and who they've entered, what is it called, organizations. Those are the conversations that are taking place. So if anyone thinks that a rollback to normalcy is going to be swift, it is not going to be swift.
Yeah, it won't be swift.
It is not going to
It's
be swift.
expected. Yeah.
You know.
Those considerations are very critical at this time. But let me leave you to continue on your series on restarting your business after the lockdown as you look at jobs and careers.
Thank you,
Thank
Otto.
you.
Yeah. Hello, viewers. Once again, you're welcome to this session, and I hope you are also getting ready, to go back to work. Today, we'll continue from where we stopped yesterday, where I talked about restarting your career after lockdown. Peradventure, you've lost your job, or I've added another one to this topic, or you are tired of your current job. You probably are thinking, this is the right opportunity for me to make to make a move. Like I said yesterday, everyone needs to develop a certain level of courage and confidence to move forward. I want to place some small emphasis on the group that I talked about yesterday. They said, or you are feeling tired. We're looking at an age band of between 28 and 45. And we are saying that you probably have had a work experience of between 4 to 13 years. Give it or take it, depending on where you started working formally. Okay? Normally, at this age band and at this stage of your career, this is the period you are trying to prove to yourself that you can give something, you can make a difference in a company, as the case may be. And all of a sudden, look at where you find yourself. This is the period you are getting more certifications, more degrees. This is the period you are supposedly, you are trying to climb from one level, okay, of management. Because if you've worked about 4 years, 3 to 4 years in an organization, you obviously expected that you will have you will have got an elevation, a promotion. Is that not so? But here we are. You probably are expecting a promotion, and all of a sudden, this has come to play. Your firm has laid you off because they've not earned anything, because they've looked at their financials, and they've come to some critical decisions that is painful to all of them, including your management. And I said yesterday, what did I say? I said you needed to get busy. If you've lost your job, you needed to find the best way to get busy. Look for how you can change job. Now, you don't have to be looking at jobs vertically. What do I mean? That the same kind of job. You now need to look at jobs laterally. What other jobs can I do? What other competencies do I have, okay, that I can showcase out there? So you need to spread your horizon of job search on that bit. I wanted to place more emphasis because stage of your career where you are making very difficult decisions, very good decisions towards your advancement in life. Okay? All right? Now, here you are. And I now said, you need to get your CV out. Go and do your CV. Get somebody to do a proper CV so that you now know that when somebody gets your CV, at a glance, he or she, maybe the recruiter, he or she can look at what you have. I got some calls. Some of my proteges and mentees who are changing jobs. They're starting new jobs. They got the jobs during this lockdown, which is why I said go to those job boards. This is the time to look at every job board. Spend time. The more time you should spend now, if you've lost your job and you're also you think you are tired of your current job, this is the time to spend more time looking at the job opportunities, all right, which you need to respond to. And I talked about the possibility of your getting a pay cut or your reduction in your current benefits and allowances, okay? You look at all of these things so that you can survive. So as opportunities are coming, you need to understand the level of thought you need to put in place so that you can get busy, especially if you are married and you have children to take care of. So what will you be thinking about first? You should be thinking about survival. I need to earn something. I need to get busy. I need to find a way so that my income stream comes in. That's what everybody should be thinking. That's what I think you should be doing at this stage. Then I talked about business, starting a business, the possibility of you starting a business. And I recall I mentioned that this is an opportunity for you to think about partnership. How you can partner with your friends or somebody you've been working with that you think you have this chemistry that the two of you can jive, and go out there and look for something to offer. Are things difficult? Yes, but let me tell you the truth. There are still opportunities out there for people with discerning skills or service to offer. There are people who are looking for such people. Don't ask me where. Look, there are there. Those job boards, those job opportunities are there. I know so. So you need to be patient, you need to be calm, and spend more time combing for these opportunities as the case may be. So if that is the case, I want to talk about the next stage today, which I didn't mention today. We call it the maintenance stage. Maybe you are 45 and you're getting towards 60. Either you probably just retired or you're planning to retire, and this job, see, the COVID now came and you are now asked to leave earlier than was planned. Okay? Now, if you are between this age bracket, we are saying that you spend more than 13 to 15 years at work. So you're already a matured worker, all right? At this stage, ordinarily, you are at a stage where you are consolidating, preparing for your retirement, maybe at 60, depending on what the retirement age was in your enterprise before this, before COVID, the COVID issue started. What should you do? And this thing happens. Again, your first rule is you look at your savings. Can I start a business? The capital market plus the money market, they are all dead. Yes or no? Yes. So those investments that you have there, they're not bringing anything for you which you probably had relied on. A lot of us have, had some stuff and we had relied. They're not bringing any returns that are measurable. It doesn't mean you cannot look for smart investing to do. So what I'm suggesting to you is that the opportunities are still there. So spend time to look for opportunities. Find a way to sell your value proposition. Find a way to look for flexible working. We've been working from home. Can I give you 2 times in a week? Can I give you 3 times in a week? When you're at your maintenance stage, you are already, ordinarily, you should be an expert in that domain that you are offering service to your current employer. Ordinarily, that's what you should be. You should be an expert in your domain. So when you look at that, at the maintenance stage, you boldness, because ordinarily, if you spent more than 15, 20 years, you should be talking like an expert. You should have a good grasp of your topic. You should be considered a subject matter expert in that area. By the time you are 45 or you are 50, as the case may be, what are you talking about? You should be showing this stuff. So people will listen to you. People will listen to you. Oh, Mr. XYZ, I observe you are having this issue. I can do once a week, twice a week. We can spend 2-3 hours and come to a negotiation on how you will be remunerated. It is also an opportunity for you to rediscover yourself. For some of us, we may feel, oh, the world has come to an end. The world is just beginning. We're in a new phase of the world. You see what I said? We're in a new phase. We're in a new era in the job place, in the economy, globally. So you need to rediscover yourself. What are you going to do to rediscover yourself? This is not the time for you to sit and be lamenting. This is the time for you to rediscover yourself. So you need to look at this younger generation. They are coming out with fantastic ideas for which you can partner, with them and get ideas to leverage the skills that they are coming with or not, competence that you do not have. Trust me, you need to do that. So you need to put down your grandfather or your grandpapa cultural attitude. The workplace has changed because there is a mixture of the age demography in the workplace. So the only way you can rediscover yourself is when you bring yourself with what? Humility. Like I said yesterday, you need to understand the resilience. I say at this stage, part of your rediscovery tool is that all options are on the table. Who are you keeping company with? I talked about minding your company. What are you listening? Which programs are you listening? At this stage, you should be looking at webinars. What are the issues that are being discussed in free webinars that is taking place all over the place? all notable organizations and people are having, so ideas should be dropping on your laps from there that you can try, that you can attempt to share with people. Don't show, when I say you should show boldness, don't be afraid to call a recruiter that you know. Look, I'm looking for a job. Do you guys have any job opportunities for your clients that you are looking for that you probably have not filled? You need to call. If you do not call, nobody will know you have something to offer. Then I talked about starting a firm. I didn't say starting your firm. Again, I mean it. To start a firm, you need to get the right knowledge. You need to talk to the right people. In this scenario, all options, your resilient nugget, all options are still on the table. Because your children are looking at you, your siblings are looking, people who are ordinarily dependent on you, everybody is looking at you. Your mood is likely to change. You might get touchy, okay? So you are in a different mental and psychological state. And the only way you can get that is when they see you manifesting that the fact that you are rediscovering yourself and you are applying for jobs, you are openly applying for jobs, and you are also talking to friends that you can come together and form a force to offer service. What do you think will happen? You are developing belief. Belief is very powerful. I can't overemphasize how powerful belief is. It makes your expectation strong. Your belief makes your expectation, which is hope, to be strong. Yeah. So if you don't do that, when I talk about boldness, I'm actually telling you, you need to be daring. You need to be daring. You need to go out there, talk to people. Please don't sit down at home. Make those calls. Make those calls. You need to get moving. Because if you do, then it is easy for you. For those of you who think this is an opportunity for you to move because you're probably tired of your current job, for whatever the status or the reasons are in your current job, you feel that opportunity for you to go, you can ask for a longer vacation. So when you take that vacation, you begin to ask yourself, do I do an industry move? Do I go back to school? Do I take a leave of absence to go back and do some reflection? Do I seek for another job, or do I start a firm? So for those of you in this state, this is a good excuse. You can tell your employer, your current employer, please, can I take additional more leave? I would like to come, I would like to resume immediately, and that kind of a thing. You have not asked, so you wouldn't know whether you'll be given, unless you are probably playing a critical role, even though you are tired, unless you're probably playing a critical role in your organization. In that case, my position to you is, I'm wishing you luck. I'm wishing you luck to get the right way to communicate what you want to your current employer. One thing I'm sure about is that if you try these ideas, I'm not saying they are silver bullet, but I'm saying curiosity is the mother of invention. Why don't you show some curiosity and be daring and take these bold steps? Because if you do, just maybe, you never can tell, there may be something out there for you. That's the conversation I want to have with our people today who are looking at what are they going to do? How are they going to survive? But there is always a first step someone needs to take.
That first step can be daring.
Yeah.
Must be bold.
You must be.
And you must also think out of the box. You must be very innovative.
Absolutely.
You talked about the maintenance stage, and that's a very critical stage for those in their working career from 45 to 60. Because after that, you talk about retirement, or you can still be a consultant, like lecturers and other people.
Absolutely. Yes, so those are options. For example, yes. Thank you, Otto. You can go and be doing lecturing. Some of you are so experienced. You've never thought about going to do part-time lecturing. Have you thought about it? Yeah. Okay? You can go and be giving talks in some of these schools to energize this. There's a friend of mine, by the way, who was doing this. He goes to some of these new universities, and he was giving talks. Before you could say Jack Robinson, the school now said, this one that you are coming to give small talks, and both staff and students, the guy does that. He does experiential talk a number of times per semester for this school, not just one, I think about 2 or 3 schools now. Universities they've been giving him opportunity. So the opportunities are infinite. So, which is why I said, spread your job search. The possibilities are there. You just have not thought about it. There's a friend of mine, after he retired, by the way, you know, today he has a PhD. He just got his PhD confirmed from one of the universities around, you know. But while he was doing that, okay, nothing is happening, the business wasn't moving very well. I said, no. From the little I know of you, you are deep. You have a scholarly disposition. Why don't you try this? Before you know it, he started lecturing in a number of higher institutions between Lagos and Ogun State.
Yes.
And before you know it, he registered for his PhD. You need to think out of the box, and you need to believe.
Yeah, we need a lot of industry leaders also in the academia, because
Absolutely.
we need to have fit for the industry from colleges and schools. We need to have that nexus between the industry and academia, so that when we are bringing people from different fields and they enter into the markets, they are very effective and competitive.
Although that's what we call a pointed point in my university days. We say this is a pointed point.
Yeah.
Because there is a huge gap between what the universities are teaching and what actually the industry is.
Yeah.
There's a huge gap. So you can, if you are either in your establishment stage or in the maintenance stage, which of these two stages that you are in, I'm saying if you are close to 45 and so there are opportunities for you to leverage. That's a pointed point that was just pointed by Otto, like we say. So these opportunities are there. You just need to think out of the box. And before you know it, you are getting busy. You might not be earning in terms of cash because you are rediscovering yourself, what you were earning before, but at least you are busy. You are mentally busy and something is coming. You are building up another, what? Another base for yourself.
Yeah.
And a bigger opportunity can just emerge from there.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Wese. You've spoken to me and millions of people there that, look, we have to develop ourselves to be very competitive, to make that necessary industry move if there's that need, to go back to school, to scale up our capacity, build capacity, to also explore how we can continue to collaborate, start a firm if that needs to be. And in starting a firm, you have to collaborate. Also, it's not just like one-man issue. You also have to see how you can collaborate if there's that need, because in times like this, we've seen that in the tech space, a lot of collaboration has also helped to build tech and industry companies.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Wese.
Thank you,
as we
my
continue
joy.
this conversation on restarting your business after the lockdown. That was a very interesting discourse from Mr. John Wese, MD CEO of Syntech Nigeria, and also a management consultant. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow in the afternoon by 3 p.m. on strategy management, but we'd just like to let you know, Mr. John Wese talked about the capital market. There are opportunities to want to invest, but to get those right information, you log on to www.proshareng.com to take based on the analysis you have. Also this period, we have market data and analysis on how the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting the global and Nigerian economy. Log on to proshareng.com/COVID-19 and you'll get all those reports and analysis. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching and have a nice day.